Sorry, everybody. This is Super Ninja Austin. Due to technical difficulties, it just messed up my first clip of video. I'm making the second clip of the 100th episode of the SNA podcast, which I'm going to be talking about the latest edition of AEW Dynamite Part 12 review. And we're going to finish off with Adam Copeland going right up the when Christian Cage started stomp on to Darby Allin, and this is where he's like, "Why you fans are cheering all over the place?" This is where he turned around. Adam Copeland finally pulled the trigger, hits him with a big spear that was so devastatingly brutal to his best friend to try to knock some sense to him by spearing him and nearly breaking his torso and ribs. And then this is where it pissed off Adam Copeland. He was like, "Do you want to snap my neck? Like, do you like if you try to do so, I am gonna beat your flipping ass." Well, he didn't say flipping, and he didn't say the F words, but I just said that, he was so flub and pissed off with that threat that Christian Cage said. And this is where Adam Copeland's like, "You know what? Sting was right. Like, it is." And he was like, "It's on you, you SOB." Like, and he's like, "Sting," and then he's like, "Sting, you're right. Like, if you and Darby want to partner for Full Gear, you got yourself one. I am your man that I'm gonna join forces with." And I was like, "Yes, finally!" And we all knew it was gonna be Adam Copeland. It could have been nobody perfect than the rated R superstar himself. Like. And we will see a six-man tag team match, a big six-man tag team match, possibly Adam Copeland's second match of being in AEW. And it'll be him teaming with Darby Allin and Sting to take on Christian Cage and I'm thinking of his daddy's name, Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus. And who do you think's going to win that match? Do you think it's going to be Team Copeland or Team Cage? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. This week we got a big announcement from Tony Khan with Nigel McGuinness on beside him about saying, like, we had over 81,000 fans in All In, like, and then he was like, for this holiday season, like, and he was like even though like tickets are going to be sold like next month in December, like next month in the beginning of December, you don't have to wait that long because then upcoming ahead of AEW as we head over to Thanksgiving, like we're gonna as we head over to Thanksgiving, we're going to be selling them early, getting the best tickets on the house in August 25th for 2023 in Wembley Stadium for our second show of the year. And then this is where Nigel McGuinness is at. You want access to the best seats before the table? You can sign up right now at ticketmaster.co.uk AEW Wembley 2024, and which there are pre-sale tickets. So you just need to sign up right here. I'm thinking about signing myself. The only thing I need now is money and a passport in order for the flight for next year and the tickets and see the biggest show in all of professional wrestling like this past year. But anyway, what do you think what's going to happen by then, like less than 9 months from now? Y'all let me know, or not less than 9 months. I'll say exactly 9 months from now. Not exactly, but like 9 months and a half from now. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Like, which this is but I'll say they're selling all-in tickets already. Like they're not even selling the upcoming Revolution or Double or Nothing tickets. So why are you selling tickets already? And it's not even half a year yet. Oh, okay, Trey, you gotta be careful. Oh yeah, sorry. Anyways. But anyway, yeah, what do you think about this? About them selling Wembley Stadium all-in tickets? for the second year show on August 25th. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to because as you can see, there were some big moments and big events at the All In pay-per-view from this past year. But it looks like it's going to get more better and better. And up next, we got the tag team match with the Ocho, Chris Jericho, and this guy right here on my T-shirt, Kenny Omega, taking on the 2.0s, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange, and which they're former tag partners of Chris Jericho from the Jericho Appreciation Society. But yeah, it looks like they're going to face against their former leader with the two Winnipeg natives are going joining forces as the two Canadians take on the two Daniel Garcia dads. But anyways, we're gonna get started into the match because this was a very entertaining bout. Where it's starting off with Chris Jericho and I believe Daddy Magic Matt Menard. Yeah, but this is where they attack both of them. Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker will start stomping onto Chris Jericho, the former leader, aka. And this is where Jericho started hitting double knife-edge chops onto the duo, like, one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you. Like, well, I can't spank y'all's backside right now doing the next best thing. And then chops right into your face and chest. I was like, I wouldn't be doing that if I were you because Gunther could possibly murk you once he put you, check you onto the list. Something that's more brutally unforgiving and devastating, more than your stupid idiot list. Just saying, Jericho. Like, but anyways, he has the list that's so that's more I'll say not humiliating, but I would say brutal. I'll say that's more brutal than that. And I think you're going to probably make it onto the list. So best recommendation, not join WWE and keep praying that Gunther stays in WWE so he won't murk you with his chops of envy. This is where he Irish whips. But anyway, this is where he Irish whips Daddy Magic Matt Menard, hits him with a shoulder tackle. He's like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? The epitome of Italian sports entertainer. And then this is where he tags in Omega, this guy on my T-shirt right now, the one I was yesterday, ironically funny. This is where Omega goes for a suplex. Goes for a double suplex with the Ocho, Chris Jericho, and landed back first. And this is where Cool Hand Angelo Parker's try to go in to help his friend or his brother, I should say, of Matt Menard, but he gets double kicked in the midsection by Omega and Jericho. Gets Irish whipped from the right side of the ropes, going to the other side, like throwing him onto the other side on the left side, and he runs right there. This is where Jericho tried to go. This is where Jericho and Omega try to go for a double single axe handle, double single axe handles from them respectively. But Cool Hand Ange ducks out of the way. Omega and Jericho hits a flying double shoulder block right onto the Cool Hand Ange. And then what else happened onto the match? But this is where Matt Menard Irish whips Kenny Omega right onto the right side. This is where he tried to duck down, which was the most idiotic maneuver in all of sports entertainment and pro wrestling. Because Kenny Omega obviously kicks him right to the head, back up into reality. This is where Matt Menard tried to go for a striking clothesline. Kenny Omega caught him in the middle of the ring. This is where he hits a snapback drag right into the middle of the canvas, hitting his head and neck and back in the process. This is where Omega goes for the V-trigger knee strike right on to Jake Hager when he's trying to get into the ring, which was very wise of the former longest reigning AEW world champion, right? Which he landed on the outside. And I was thinking, like, it's a shame that Omega's no longer the number one longest reigning AEW champion in history, because MJF just passed that reign yesterday on Halloween. I was like, it's a shame that's the case, and he's not holding the Triple B championship regardless. And also, when I'm considering considerably dressed up as him with the Triple B strap, even though it was just a toy Triple B strap, still in my nephew's room. It's onto his closet, along with the knee pads and the I'll say along with the knee pads I was wearing. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that more later. But this is where Kenny Omega goes for a rolling flip senton onto Hager. This is where he landed back first. Omega pointed up in the air, saying I got him. And this is where Jericho hits a devastating knife edge chop right onto getting a more devastating knife edge chops onto Daddy Cool Hand Ange, like if he was Ric Flair. And I was like, I hope that Gunther's not going to be envied for him doing it like Ric Flair, because after all, that's the guy who started this whole knife edge chops thing in pro wrestling. And this is where it started hitting the chops repeatedly, more like a couple more times. Started Irish whip Cool Hand Ange round from the right side to the left side. This is where Cool Hand Ange throws him into a counter. Jericho run right to the ropes. This is where he hangs onto the ropes when Cool Hand Angelo Parker tried to go for a drop kick. Jericho tried to go for the lion salt, which is a signature move, and he still can do an amazing backflip when he attempts to do the lion salt, even at the age of 52 years old. But before he can have a chance to do the lion salt, this is where Matt Menard knocks him off the ropes when the referee wasn't looking, when he was distracted to Kenny Omega. But this is where he was down onto the ground. This is where Cool Hand Angelo Parker went for the pin, taking advantage, but he only got a. But Jericho kicks out right before 3 to the point that everybody was shocked that he kicked out, like when Aubrey Edwards was attempting the 3 count. But that did not happen because we kind of already knew that Jericho and Omega is not going to give up a win to these guys, because these guys are low level right now. No offense to 2.0, but that's the case. Because they're just like sacrificial lambs. Like whenever they're facing for the AEW Tag Team Championships or the Trios Tag Team Championships with Daniel Garcia, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna lose their tag team matches. But anyways, this is where what's his name? Angelo Parker tried to hit him with a bat, or was it a kendo stick? But either way, Jericho ducked out of the way, hits his second finishing move, which now is his main finishing move in AEW, the spinning Judas effect, like hit him face first, which I haven't seen him did in a little while. And this is where he finally pinned Angelo Parker. He got the 1, 2, 3 for both him and Omega, and they got the tag team win. And this is where Don Callis tried to come in the ring and started saying now it's time to finish you off once and for all. Y'all just like a couple of cockroaches that I can't permanently squish. Every time I have my boys, I squash you in whether there's in brawls or squash matches or whatever. Like, which him referring to Powerhouse Hobbs, like beating the living daylights out of poor Omega and Jericho. And then, but he's like, but I got to give you credit, guys. Like, which they start booing him like if he was Dominic Mysterio, but he's in an opposite company where Dominic is. He's like saying, like, I got to give y'all credit when it's due. Like Takeshita destroyed Kenny, and he's like, Powerhouse Hobbs destroyed Jericho. He's like, but that's what he said. That's what he said. Y'all like cockroaches. Y'all hard to get rid of. And also, he said, so maybe, why don't you take it up a notch? Maybe this doesn't finish in wrestling ring. Maybe this is like maybe this is a finish into the street. And I was like, don't tell me it's going to be some kind of a cinematic street fight match, literally in the street fighting. But anyways, this is where Don Callis said, and maybe if you have the guts for both you, Jericho and Kenny, like he's to face the greatest family in the history of pro wrestling, and then he's like in a street fight in 2 weeks in Ontario, and he's like into Los Angeles, California, and at AEW Full Gear, and then he's like, step up to the play, you dummies. And Omega was getting ready to say something to the microphone, but he. And then this is where Jericho's like, no, I got this from here. This is where Jericho's like, first off, he called us dummies, Kenny. Like, do you think we're gonna let that slide? Like, and what he said, Jericho, he's like. He's like Kenny, like we're like he thinks we're dummies, and also what we're gonna do now, Kenny? Like all yours now, Kenny. Like that's all I have to say for now. And this is where Kenny Omega got back on hold to the microphone. He started thinking what he should respond to what Don Callis' statement onto both him and Jericho. He was like, what sucks is being a dummy in general. He's like, it doesn't like what he said. Like Omega, he's like, it sucks to being a dummy and also being a dummy, like, he said, I hate to be a stupid idiot, referencing, that's what he said, like, like being a stupid idiot, which that's a reference to Jericho's old list, of being that, like, listen, like, you are nuts, Don Callis, you just said the magic word, and then you said street fight, like, we weren't playing by the rules anyway, and then none of it, and he's like, and it had nothing to do with winning matches, and it didn't hurt. It wasn't hurting me or Chris, and then also, why? Like for your family, it was all for you, Don. If you want a street fight, yeah, we accept the street fight match, but I'm not gonna accept it alone. I got someone I'm gonna have somebody that always have my back on my side, no matter what. Trust me. You want to bring your family along? Then we got a family, the freshly spot, right? Ryder Dakota and Ibushi. And then Don Callis was like, like, I'm not a dummy, so I know, like, my math, you're still a man short. Like, even if you have Coda around, and this is where Kenny's like, oh, really? Like, Chris, can you help me? Do you have any friends of yours from your former promotion that used to work for? Which referencing, like, Kenny used to wrestle for New Japan. That's how he met Kota Ibushi, and he's been friends since then. And he referenced Jericho from his time in WWE, saying, like, do you got any friends? Which he, as a matter of fact, he did. He introduced him, like, from his days in WWE by Jericho announcing of the fourth member that's going to team with him against the Don Callis family. He's like, look, I look at Will Hobbs right over here, and man, who completely annihilate me a few weeks ago, getting some kind of revenge just because I was mean to him back in the late 90s when him and his grandma went to a wrestling show where I was at, which was probably WWE, unless it was like an independent wrestling show, or ECW, of course, or WCW before then. But anyway, but the point is, like, he's like, Don Callis, like Will Hobbs may be a big man, but I happen to know a friend that's even bigger than Will. And that's where we hear the big man's new theme song from the past couple of years of being in AEW. And then on the Titantron, it said "No more BS," which we already know. That's right. And the rumors are true that we will see the world's largest athlete, formerly known as the Big Show, now known as his real name, Paul White, is going to join forces with Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to take on Don Callis' family. And I believe they also have Kota Ibushi, what Kenny Omega said. But oh yeah, before he said this is where Don Callis. I'm not sure if this is necessary now for me announcing who exactly Jericho have joining forces with him, which he said no, nobody's bigger than Will Hobbs. I was like, dude, like whether or not like Will Hobbs is big, like there's gonna be somebody bigger than him. Like, don't you know anybody on the roster? Like, can you put two and two together? Like on who Jericho knows? Like he knows plenty of people from his 30 years in the pro wrestling business. So how would you know that? Like he knows somebody bigger? Which it was Paul White. This is where he came out. This is where he knocked out Kyle Fletcher when he tried to attack the world's largest athlete. I was like, oh look, it's the 7-foot whale. It is him. Like, yay. I was like, I really had to insult him like that. Like you already have enough of being called big names before. But it's because of this old catchphrase, his catchphrase on his theme song, like, well, it's the Big Show. Yeah. And I was like, but instead of saying whale, like when you're using the word in a sentence, like with a W-E-L-L, like it's actually the animal under the sea, which is a whale, which is spelled W-H-A-L-E. But anyways, the world's largest athlete, 380-pound 7-foot whale, is going to team with the god of pro wrestling and the Ocho / demo god, the Le Champion, the former Le Champion, the former Y2J, like with his days is the Jericho Show, which they're gonna team with. They're just gonna team with to face them. And who thinks is gonna win? It's gonna be Team Omega and Jericho's team that's gonna beat the Don Callis family, or the Don Callis family is gonna wipe out the Team Jericho and Omega team in possibly a Full Gear, which is live in Los Angeles, California, of course. And are you guys going to be watching Full Gear this month, November 18th? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, which I'm going to try to see if I can, which is a possibility regardless. But if I can find some pay-per-view money, I probably will. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next match or segment even, which Renee Paquette was interviewing Jericho and Omega about the of Paul White joining them and being the fourth member of the team of this short-term team of Team Jericho and Omega. But this is where the Young Bucks is Matt Jackson, I believe, said was playing the jealousy game, which I don't understand why. Like, I was like, look, like just because y'all lost y'all's Trios Tag Team Championships, like doesn't mean you start taking your anger out on your leader and your best friend that you've been with for the past 14 years, like which is Kenny Omega, of course. But anyway, he started saying, since when you start teaming with Chris Jericho and starting to have him as your new best friend, and not having and you saying y'all you have we have your backs, but what about you having our backs tonight? Like yo, dude, like you had Hangman Adam Page, like he's your teammate, so why you're blaming Omega in a kayfabe perspective, of course. But yeah, this is where he's like yeah. And then he's like, you know what? Like, we don't have none of each other's backs anymore. Like, but tell you what, like, with all that being said, like no heat there. Like, my biggest problem is who invited this? What kind of insulting name that they called Jericho? It was either who invited this. What's the point the league's what's the whole point about the elite reuniting if none of us have each other's backs anymore? And he's like, but yeah, tell you what. He's like. all being said, no beef from you, no heat there. Like my biggest problem is that's what he called him. He was like who called who but who told you to bring this prick in this locker room? I was like, really? You still have heat with the Ocho Chris Jericho? Like, and y'all never been in a feud in over 2 or 3 years now. So what makes you insult him? Like, just because y'all may not be friends, but doesn't mean you have a right to insult him like you do, like you just did. Like it's not like he's the same person that you feuded with like a couple years ago. So don't take a page out of Drew McIntyre's playbook. But this is where the Young Bucks is like he was like you think you're a bother to us like from the past like few years ago, like, but I haven't forget about that. Like, and then Jericho's like, don't take it out on me just because you lost y'all's trios titles tonight. Like, y'all did good enough tonight to try to retain them. I was like, yeah, like tell him, Chris Jericho. Like, I was just doing that right now because it's the truth. Like, you shouldn't be taking it out on Omega and Jericho just because you lost your trios titles with Hangman Adam Page. Like, Hangman Adam Page went off took his eye off the ball and was too distracted with Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland because Swerve Strickland beat him in their last bout at Wrestle Dream. And then this is where Jericho's like, now do me a favor, like both of you, Nick and Matt, like watch y'all's mouth with the way y'all talking to me. This is where Omega tried to go, no, whoa, like don't fight in here, like no, like we should be all on the same page if anything, and like anything, like yeah, just calm down, like we can work this out, like. And then this is where it's like, you guys, like, think of me and Chris as the enemy to enemy thing, doing each other a favor, like scratching each other's backs for a favor for both of our problems. Like, and then after that, we will be no longer teaming together. You could call us whatever that don't have anything associations with being best friends. And then look, the reason why he aligned with us because against the Don Callis family, like he hates Don Callis just as much as we do. So give him a chance. And then this is where Matt Jackson was being a smartass, saying him and Don Callis were cut off in the same cloth, and you know it. He's gonna be a snake and turn on you just like Don just did. Hey, enjoy. And he's like, enjoy your stay in our locker room. Like, clean up before you leave and on the way out. Like, and then it's where he rub and shove Omega's shoulders. And then this is where Omega's like, oh my God. And then this is where it's like, and then this is where Jericho was like, oh bother, like why do we even bother to convince the Young Bucks? But yeah, this is where we got Willow Nightingale taking on the AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida, which is for the Women's World Championship match in All Elite Wrestling. No, I'm not talking about WWE with Rhea Ripley. But anyways, this is where we got Hikaru Shida doing the grappling game right on to the former New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Put her against the right side of the ropes, in the corner of the ropes, like where the referee was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and she gently moved her hands out of the way. This is where Willow Nightingale got a chance to walk on her own, start spinning around with the Will Nightingale winning, like have a back to belly hold onto Hikaru Shida. This is where Excalibur mentioned John Cena on AEW television, but he announced Wipeout because he's the host with Nicole Byers, co-host of the game show with Nicole Byers on TBS, which comes on what specific days, like a new season, the new episode on Tuesdays, like 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 5 Pacific. Not Pacific, 6 Pacific. My bad. 6 Pacific, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern. But anyways, this is where only on TBS, which it comes on one of these 3 hours, like when on my home state. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'll reveal where exactly in my area. Of course, all I'm saying, I'm in America, and I'll say one of these is my time. This is where. But this is where Willow Nightingale goes for a headlock. She hits her in the midsection with trying to reverse out of the maneuver. She Irish whips her right into the right side of the ropes. This is where she tries to run and try to do a running attack move, but she dodges Willow Nightingale and tricks her. Try to go run from behind, and try to run right onto a maneuver. This is where she gets. This is where Willow Nightingale rolls her over, hit her with the most devastating move, schoolgirl version of the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll up. This is where Willow Nightingale got back up. This is where Hikaru Shida tried to go for a running attack move, but this is where Willow Nightingale hits her with a shoulder block, or not shoulder block, rather a shoulder tackle. No, Samson, go back, Samson. Come on, Samson. This is where Cheetah got a kip up. She's like, no. Like quick, but still not gonna bring me down for good. This is where Willow Nightingale tried to go for a second time to charm, shoulder tackle her. This is where Hikaru Shida tried to go for a shoulder tackle on her, but Willow still was on her feet, but it made her lost balance and run right back on the ropes. Hit her with a more devastating shoulder tackle onto Shida. This is where she runs, goes for a basement crossbody, like taking a page out of Piper Niven's playbook, which is known as the most comeback move in all sports entertainment. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but she only got a 2.6 count, with Shida putting her shoulder up right on time. This is where Willow Nightingale had Shida into the bottom right corner without her Irish whipping her there. This is where she started doing her moves, started hitting striking forearms onto the current AEW Women's World Champion. This is where she finally Irish whips, try to attempt an Irish whip to Hikaru Shida, but this is where she's still hanging on to the ropes. This is where Willow Nightingale goes for a right strike right to the face. This is where she tried Irish whip Hikaru Shida, but Shida counters the Irish whip right onto the top left corner of the turnbuckle. This is where Hikaru Shida goes and scream in a she's like with her catchphrase. This is where she goes for a striking knee strike right onto the face of Willow Nightingale, and then also this is where she got her right up. She caught her from a splash from what's her name? What's her name? Hikaru Shida. And this is where she was trying to hit my signature move. I was like, yes, Willow, do the maneuver, like on AEW Fight Forever, which is the most dominating move in all sports entertainment, the Death Valley Driver, or should I call it the Sass Valley Driver. This is where Hikaru Shida flips out of it. This is where she tried to go for a back to belly maneuver, but Willow Nightingale counters. This is where Hikaru Shida hang on to the rope, diving down, making Willow Nightingale flip out into the right onto the apron. This is where Hikaru Shida runs right to the right side of the ropes, runs and hit her with a knee right to the back of the head of the challenger, Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale got onto her feet. She was like, all right, that's all you got? Like, yeah, like I got your number to Hikaru Shida, but Hikaru Shida was like, do you? She did a double dip, like landing on the outer part of the left side of the corner ropes, like which was near the apron. She did a double dip, crossbody right onto Willow Nightingale, onto the outside of the ring, diving, which is known as the most comeback move in all of pro wrestling. And she got her back in the ring. Let's see. This is where Hikaru Shida hit the Shining Wizard knee strike right onto right on the Willow Nightingale. Both women were down. This is where Hikaru Shida drags Willow Nightingale right onto the top left corner, onto the near the team of the turnbuckle. That's when she started climbing onto the top rope, trying to go for a top rope move with Willow into a sit down snapmare position. I think she waited too long because Willow Nightingale got back up, get onto the top rope, trying to do maneuver, try to hit him with a right hand maneuver right on the top rope. This is where she goes right onto the mid ropes. This is where she picks her up and try to go for an avalanche Death Valley driver. I was like, yes, please do it, please do it, please do it. I'm begging you to do it. Like I want to see wrestlers do my finishing move, look like they're paying tribute to Super Ninja Austin, which they're obviously not. Like, I'm not sure if they even know who the guy is, let alone watching the SNA podcast. Hopefully they are watching it. And for those wrestlers that are watching it, please give it a like and a thumbs up and subscribe, because I promise you I'll grant you any wishes that you demand from me or command me to do. I'll find a way to get it for you. But anyways, this is where Willow Nightingale tried to go for a Death Valley. I was like, whether if you're from WWE, AEW, or even Impact Wrestling or New Japan, like someone that's a familiar face in the world of professional wrestling. But anyway, this is where Hikaru Shida flips out of it, hits a right hand to the head. I was like, she must be double cursed, because every time Willow try to hit my signature move, it's always a double whammy for the poor 29-year-old. But anyways, this is where Hikaru Shida goes for the top rope, trying to go for possibly the Falcon Arrow off the top rope, or even a basic top rope suplex maneuver. This is where she was having trouble to execute the maneuver at first, but she finally hits, and I said, my first prediction was correct. It was the top rope Falcon Arrow. She flipped her back with her legs down onto the middle of the canvas, trying to pin the former New Japan Strong Women's Champion, but she kicks out instantly at one even count. And this is where Hikaru Shida tried to go for the katana, but this is where Willow Nightingale grabs onto her legs, swing it back. Hikaru Shida struck her with a right forearm right onto Willow. This is where Willow Nightingale hits a landing double chop right onto Hikaru Shida's chest, like if she was a female version of Keith Lee. This is where Hikaru Shida hits a swinging roundhouse kick right into the head. This is where Hikaru Shida tried to go for a running attack move when she run right through the right side of the rope. But this is where Willow Nightingale intercepts, go right onto the top corner of the ropes, hit her with a pouncing surprise tackle right onto the AEW Women's World Champions, taking another page out of Keith Lee's playbook. I was like, wow, she must have been training with Keith Lee lately, because how come she's hitting recognizable maneuvers like this? This is where Hikaru Shida went onto the other side. Willow Nightingale was beating her chest like if she was a female King Kong or even Donkey Kong. She was like, the suspenders comes off. I was like, luckily she's wearing a bra on because she is a woman. And like she had some suspenders on, like regardless, like even if she wasn't wearing a bra, that would be inappropriate for her to wear. But it is appropriate now because she's wearing the bra. But enough of that talk right now. This is where Willow Nightingale's like, all right, I got you right where I want to, and trying to get what I've been trying to win from the past year of being in All Elite Wrestling. And then she finally tried to go for a third time as a charm. And I was like, hopefully the third time's a charm attempt of doing the move after getting double whammy works, because like no one really often do that, like try to attempt for the third time, even though they got double whammy before. And I was like, come on, please do it. I was like, oh, thank goodness. She finally does my signature move, which is the Assassin Valley Driver, which is the most dominating move in all of sports entertainment / pro wrestling. This is where she tried to go for the pin, because it looked like she could have easily won with that maneuver. This is where she goes for the pin. This is where the referee counted the 1, the referee counted the 2, but she instantly got the arm up right before the referee could land his hand on the mat for the 3 count. But it landed like like right before at a 2.99999999999 negative negative 0.1 away from being 3. Like when he called Sheeta was like, I'm still in the match. Like there's nothing that you can do about it. Willow. Willow's like absolutely like holy shi or sugar honey iced tea. Like what can I do to put away? He calls Sheeta. This is where she tried to go for the gut wrench power bomb maneuver that Will was trying to do. He called Sheeta, flipped her over into a Hurricane Rana. This is where he called Sheeta, got back up on the top left corner, but she instantly got hit with the lariat from Hale from the Willow the Pillow wrestler. This is where she goes for the pinfall too. He called Sheeta, but he called Sheeta, countered her pinfall, hit her with the crucifix roll up, which is known as the most devastating move in all sports entertainment. This is where he called Sheeta, try to go for. I mean, this is where Willow Nightingale tried to go pin her again, but it was too late. She tried to go for a pinfall too to hit the most devastating move again, all sports entertainment. This is where she hits a pump kick. Excuse me for a second. Hello? Yeah, we'll be ready. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, probably by this weekend. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, bet that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Bye bye. Bet that. Mm-hmm. All right. I need to go back to doing my SNA podcast. But anyways, this is where Willow Nightingale tried to do the pinfall, but yeah, he called Sheeta flips out of it into another crucifix, but she had to roll her up because there was no point of pinning her with the maneuver because regardless, was trying to Willow would kick out of it anyway. So she was like, "What difference would that make?" But anyways. And then what else? Damn, my little device is had to. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting it right now. Sorry for the wait. This is where he called Sheeta. Or this is where this is where Willow Nightingale try to. No, this is what. This is where Hikaru Shida gets back up. This is where she hit her with the spinning katana, which she struck the right shin to head right into the maneuver. She tried and she went for a pin. She got the 1-2-3. She retained her AEW Women's World Championship. This is where she tried to get Willow back up. She earned the respect of the former New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She was like, she even complimented her. She's like, you did a well job. Like, she got Willow up. She was like, no, I want no heat on you. Like, I want the respect, handshake of respect. She was like, yeah, gladly to. Like, you showed me why you champion. Like, and come here. She gave her a hug. She was like, glad to have the match with you. This is where Hikaru Shida. Shida was like, oh, bother. Like, what the hell does she want? Which it was Tony Storm's theme song, which was it does sound like a 1920s silent movie theme song, like a classic, I should say. This is where Tony Storm was like, he was like, remember, you only got how many days, which is Full Gear. I would believe it will be 18 days, I believe. Yeah. 17 days. My apologies about that horrible math. But anyway, yeah, she got 17 days for Tony Storm to win back the championship and be in the second ever 3-time AEW Women's World. This is where because I have enough of her interrupting in my matches. Like, this is the final straw. This is where Luther offered her something onto, like, which I believe was a brush, like, onto the pillow. So, well, you care for a brush? Because she said, get that out of my face. And she and knocked that out of his hands, run right to Tony Storm and said, and hit the running knee strike, a Shining Wizard knee strike right into Tony's face when she was sat down. But she was like, huh, what's going on? She kneed her right into her face. She started beating the absolute trash out of Tony Storm. This is where she tried to grab onto her, but she roll out of her robe and throw it right towards Hikaru Shida. This is where Hikaru Shida run out of there, like, with nothing but her, I guess, her underwear with her bra and panties, I suppose. But that's what it seemed like, because it did not look like ring gear at all, like, or even a bikini, I should say. But yeah. But yeah, that one right into looked like I was like, why is she wearing that on? And she was laying down onto the stage. It's not like Juice Robinson is in the arena, like he was in there, but I mean, not was, or he's about to, not was. I mean, he was, but like now. But I'm saying he's about to, but that's probably like in a half an hour or less than now, like. Because he's going to be teaming with with his leader Jay White and his two other teammates, the Guns, Austin and Colton. But I was like, won't you save it when y'all get back to y'all's house, like whenever that will be? But yeah, like I do not want to see that, because obviously I am not a fan of them in that way. Only the reason why I only care about them is them being professional wrestlers and watching them every week in All Elite Wrestling. But yeah, this is where Hikaru Shida chased her out of the ring. This is where Julia Hart snuck from behind too, because the lights went out. Which it was Julia Hart came from behind with Willow Nightingale. She was like, all right, like, your soul is mine, Willow. This is where Sky Blue came in trying to go for the save. It looked like she was about to turn her back onto Willow Nightingale, because she turned around, looked like she's about to attack her, or even missed her eyes out. But this is where this was the ironic twist happened. Like, out of nowhere, she spat the mist right onto Julia Hart's face. Like, I was like, yeah, I would expect it to be Willow, but I did not expect it was Julia Hart that she was going to go spitting the mist onto. Like, she was like, ah, like if it was melting her eyes out, like, where she still could see, but she was having some trouble seeing because her eyes were blown out. Like she rolled out of the ring. She was like, you're gonna pay for this. You're gonna pay for this, Sky Blue, for not choosing me over your former best friend. I was like, well, it don't seem like she's former at all because she just tricked you and made sure to give you a taste of your own medicine, what you did to both her and her friend Willow. And what do you think about this shocking twist, like with Sky Blue remaining babyface at least from now, and coming for the aid of Willow to run off Julia Hart? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. This is where the Acclaim try to give MJF one more chance of giving him the offer of being the three tag partners in his 8-man tag match against the Bullet Club Gold. When Anthony Bowens was like, Maxwell, like you're gonna be making a big mistake if you don't choose us guys because everyone loves the Acclaim, shouting that like he always says on the microphone. And then this is where Max Caster was like, and that's why if you team with us, trying to pat him in the shoulders, but MJF's like, get your hands off of me. And he's like, I got you a present right here. I was like, why? Because it's not like it's Christmas or even it's not like it's Christmas or it's his birthday. Like, so what's the point of giving him a present out of nowhere? And I was like, what's in the bag anyways that's holding that he was about to give MJF? I was like, whatever it is, probably some inappropriate contents are in there, like something that you would see on an adult entertainment site of what you want to order there for some reason. I don't know. He's like, if you team with us, like you better promise you scissor with us, and also get and whatever that's in his bag. MJF looked in there and he's like, dude, are you out of your mind? Like, hell no. Now, absolutely not. I'm not going to accept this, and I'm not going to accept you as my tag partner, Maximus or Maximilian, whatever Max's name is. Now, I will never tag with you. Never. Not if you were the last tag team in this planet right now. And then this is where and then MJF's like, and jokes from you, I happen to have a team that I could possibly I got a couple of guys in the group that's on my list right now. And he's like, all right, like check us in there. Like, and this is where Jacob Freeman was like, get the hell out of here, man. And then this is where he turned around. This is where we have the team of Uncle Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh, and Jeff Jarrett's wife, Auntie Karen, I should say. Auntie Karen, because she is a Karen, and Sanjay Dutt. I was like, I'm not sure if you should team with you guys because y'all are way out of his league for one reason, of course. And this is where he started laughing like, like not doing so good. Am I right, Maxwell? Start taking off his shades. This is where he's like, Max, we're here to help you, like whenever you need. Like, yeah. And this is where Satnam Singh was doing his thumbs up, and then this is where Sanjay Dutt was like, "Come on, like accept us, guys." And then he was like, yeah, I know we're gonna do another. Come on, Maxwell, like you're gonna ask us to be your tag team partners. Maxwell's like, like it looks like I'm gonna have no choice and pick one tag team, and it looks like he might stick onto his word and not have the Acclaim, especially Max Caster, particularly for him having some weird obsession with, have some kind of a weird obsession with the Salt of the Earth, more than Swiftie fans with Taylor Swift. But anyways, this is where Renee Paquette had her latest special guest into an interview, which he announcing the main event match, which was up next. And this is where Roderick Strong was like, Renee, like you're supposed to interview me. Like, and this is where Mike Bennett has the had a little monitor. This is what not monitor. I mean his iPhone, I should say, up, and he put put on speaker, which he was trying to call Adam Cole on the line. He's like, okay, it's ringing right now, and he's like, okay. This is where Adam Cole was like, yes, and then this is where Roderick Strong was like, Adam, like, hey Adam, and then this is where Adam Cole's like, I can hear you loud and clear. You don't have to yell like that, like, and this is where. And the Roderick Strong's like, I'm sorry about that, dude. And he's like, yeah, you believe that, Max? And did you believe that Max did not want us to be his tag team partner? And we immediately asked him we asked him that we would gladly be his partners tonight. Like, what is up with that guy? I was like, well, first of all, like Roderick Strong, like you claim that you're not clear enough to compete, and you have to have 3 guys unless you can get back on your feet without riding on a wheelchair, like if you're AEW's Elton Prince. Like with the Prince Elton Strong, like you're Nick Strong, which I was like, well, I understand what's up with you, with y'all and these gimmicks, like these odd gimmicks that you don't need to be in the wheelchair, but you still use it anyway. Just the pretend that you're suffering the injury. I'm so sorry, but anyways, since I've been so nice to him, what a jerk, huh, Adam? And Adam Cole's like, Roddy, first of all, shut the hell up, man. And second of all, and he hung up. I don't say he said second of all, let alone first of all, but I'm saying like that, like, and second of all, beep, and hung up. And this is where Roderick Strong started doing his signature Adam yell right onto the phone, which he's no longer on the line, and he was like, Adam, call me back. I was like, first of all, he just hung up. Second of all, how is he gonna answer you back if he just hang up like in the first place? So like maybe if you spend a little less time asking for favors from your best friend Adam Cole, like including yelling his name, Adam, and maybe spend more time caring about what Adam Cole needs, like with MJF, and call him every day and seeing his concerns into his injury with his injuries. Like maybe he will probably be calling you through time to time, just like Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Like you're not making yourself the better person right now. Like maybe if you weren't the Joe's best friend, like at first, like maybe MJ, and also MJ, like if you weren't being the Joe's best friend to your best friend Adam Cole, like and accept MJF is and accept the fact that he's friends with Adam Cole, like maybe you would have been MJF's tag partner against Bullet Club Gold, but no matters. Like he found the tag partner, even though he didn't want to have him as their team, but it happened to be the Acclaim, and it was the Acclaim and Daddy Ass and MJF taking on the Bullet Club Gold, Rock Hard Juice Robinson, Switchblade Jay White, and the Ass Boys. Like with the Guns, I should say, the Ass Boys, I should say. This is where like that's where he started taking shots in his freestyling, like with Mac. And then this is where he started saying a couple lines that were inappropriate and had to be blurred out, and because it was also cuss words too. He said like instead of strip steaks, he have tofu instead of strip steaks, and then he's like, good job, Juicy. Like the cubic square is more like his pubic hairs. That's what he's like. That's what he said on the line. I was like I'll be dang, like, and I believe Tony Storm likes that about Juice Robinson. Just saying, like in their personal life, I guess I said, hopefully I don't get hate and criticism for making a joke like that. Everybody forgive me for making a joke like that. But yeah, this is where he started taking a line and started taking shots and aims at Juice Robinson and what's his name? and and to the Guns, which used the lines "ass boys." But anyway, this is where it starts off with MJF and Juice Robinson. And this is where MJF's like, I don't want you, talentless Tank Juice. I want that piece of sugar honey iced tea over here, right now. And they censored it out, and he did not say sugar honey iced tea, but he said the word that stands for sugar honey iced tea. And then he said, but yeah, this is the first time in a while I saw them censored out the S word. Like, and this is where he tagged in Tofu Jay White. He was like, all right, like, if you want me, you can have me right now. We don't have to wait until Full Gear to have this match. And we can have it right here, right now in this tag match. And this is where Juice Robinson's like, you be careful what you wish for. You just might get it, but not in your terms. This is where he tags in Switchboy Jay White. He started talking a lot of games like, what are you going to do about it, little Max? Like, you know, it's like, I'm going to truly show you to obliterate you. And then this is where MJF was going straight towards Jay White. He was like, he was running like a bull. Like, when you start messing and start taunting and provoking the bull, he started trying to get ready to give him the horns. This is where Jay White came in and ran back and tagged in, I believe was. I think he tagged in one of the Guns. He started shielding himself with Juice Robinson and the Guns. When the referee was MJF was about to attack, start beating him absolute shib right out of Switchblade Jay White. But this is where the referee held him back. He's like, calm down, MJF. Calm. He got tagged out of here. Like, yeah. He tagged out of there. Like, you can't go too far. Like, you can't be doing that, like MJF. Like, you'll get DQ'd if you're not careful. And this is where MJF's like, whatever, fine. Like, he can tag him like the coward tofu that he is. But he does tag in Juice Robinson. Or Juice Robinson, actually. I thought it was one of the Guns, but he tagged in Juice Robinson. This is where MJF's like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to tag in Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens was ready to fight Juice Robinson at that time. This is where Juice Robinson was like, oh, yeah. Like, this guy right here, like, that acts more girly than my wife. Like, this would probably be his word, not mine, because I don't have no hate on what Anthony Bowen's sexuality is. That's his business, not mine. I'm just saying that because that's what Juice Robinson looked like, even though that was kind of offensive. But But it kind of doesn't matter when it's saying the lines of pro wrestling, like, because he's the heel. He's supposed to say hatred stuff and offensive things about the fans. But anyway, this is where fans start chanting "ass boys" to the ass boys, aka Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, the Gun Boys, I should say. This is where Anthony Bowens hit a headlock to Juice Robinson. He Irish whipped him right into the top corner of the ropes. This is where he tried to bow down, but he gets instantly kicked up into the head by Anthony Bowens. This is where he runs right to the back, plants a famous leg drop from behind onto Juice Robinson when he runs in the bottom ropes. And then also we got Anthony Bowens going for the Here's where he tried to go for the rock, paper, scissors strike right onto the rock hard talentless Tank. Here's where he tried to go. He thought hitting knife edge chops, back fist, right hands, strikes. This is where he started hitting, and also a super kick after all that. This is where he did the pose and said his catchphrase, "Everyone loves the Acclaim." And then this is where he's like, "Get up, Juice!" All right, and this is where I'm not sure if Anthony Bowens noticed it, but he gets tagged. But what's his name tagged himself back in the match? What's his name? Not back in the match. But Austin Gunn. It was Austin Gunn that tagged himself in the match. It was his first appearance of being on the match. He started mocking him, throwing signs up right into the face of Anthony Bowens. He's like, do you want me to tag in your old man? Like, okay, I guess so. He's all yours, daddy ass. And then Billy Gunn got tagged in by Anthony Bowens. He's like, I'm gonna do exactly what I used to do when y'all act bad when y'all were younger, and that is to spank y'all's asses. And then that's what he was doing with his face by slapping and chopping and punching absolute rubbish into both his sons' faces. This is where he started rubbing. This is where Austin Gunn was rubbing Billy Gunn's face with his hands. This is where he started saying, he's like, guns up. Like, if we're the better guns that you ever been in your 30 years in the wrestling business. This is where what's his name? Billy Gunn's like, I have enough of your shenanigans. He tried to go for a headlock, twist his neck. This is where Austin Gunn instantly counters, throws him into the right side of the ropes. And once he runs right through the right side of the ropes, he runs past Austin Gunn, ducks down, goes for a leapfrog, and going for a ring toss, but not a ring toss. I'll say an arm drag ring toss, but he instantly got back. Not Austin Gunn. Billy Gunn picks up Austin Gunn in the air. Irish whipped him right to the exact same right corner of the ropes where he Irish whipped him to do the duck and leapfrog maneuver. But this is where Austin Gunn tried to clothesline him into with him running through the ropes. He ducks out of the way. He ducks down, like sliding down, doing a pose like this, like, hey, you can't, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you still standing? Like, too slow, my old man. Like, this is where Billy goes like, boy, get your ass up off the ground. This is where he tried to attempt a elbow drop, a standing elbow drop to be the exact, onto his son Austin. But Austin Gunn's like, was going full Dominic Mysterio mode of giving him insulting punches like if he was Dusty Rhodes. But I bet I bet he would call him a deadbeat dad just because Dominic Mysterio calls his dad a deadbeat dad. And I believe the Guns will be the same way. We don't care about you deadbeat, which that's not the truth, because how come you're in this industry if that was the case? But anyway, this is where he started hitting the punches, started doing that dance, start doing that dance. It's like, you can suck it, fans. And this is where he tried to go for a right strike, but his dad beat him to it, hit him with a striking right uppercut. This is where Colton Gunn try to go in and try to attack their former dad. Like, this is where what's his name, Billy Gunn, was ready for him, hit him with a striking right hand. He's like, you can suck it too, other son. Like, and this is where fans started cheering, like, yeah, like, beat him down. This is where MJ was like, wow, like, maybe this was a good idea, considering it's their dad that's giving them an ass beating, like, more worse than he probably used to spank them when they were younger. But anyways, this is where Billy Gunn's like, you want some too? You want some too, Juice and Jay? And this is where they're like, nope, like, we're out of this. Like this is family. This is family issue right here. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to solve this issue right here. This is where Austin goes like, all right, that's enough, Daddy. Like, I don't want no more beating up. I was like, man, like, this sounds very familiar. But anyway, this is where he tags in what's his Jay White, the title stealer, the Triple B stealer. This is where Jay White got into the ring. This is where Jay White was like, you really tagged me in just to face this guy? I was like, well, you nearly got your ass beaten. You cowardly dug and chilled yourself with your three boys when MJF was in the ring. So it's either him or Max or Anthony or is it gonna be Maxwell? So you're gonna have to pick your choose. You're like, but then again, like, it's not Max. What you did? Oh yeah, he's like, but what you did to your sons? Sons, like that's insulting my boys in the Bullet Club. Go, like you think you're a big man? You think you're up there? Like you think you can be? Like you can reach up right there. This is where he tried. This is where Billy goes. Like, okay, like I'll reach up. This is where he did the most maniacal, tricky move in all of professional wrestling. Kick him right to the knees, which was probably the grandest and smartest move. This is where he's like, you can suck this, and then this is where, this is where he did the knife edge chop right onto Billy Gunn. I was like, like don't be being like the rest of these guys in AEW, like because it's already enough that Gunther has them on the list, and he could come to AEW at any moment, or wait until or do the wise move and wait for them to make it to WWE if they have the opportunity to. But yeah, this is where he tried to go for a knife in his chop. It didn't even phase Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's like, if that's all you got, like, how about this? And he hit him so hard to the point he landed flat on the ground, Jay White, and he's supposed to be the leader of Bullet Club Go in there, in the Switchblade and the Triple B Master, but it didn't seem like it when he faced someone like Billy Gunn, a guy that's been in the mid-card division for over 20 and a half years in the pro wrestling business. Like, I was like, if that's the case, like, he should be in Billy Gunn's level, or Billy Gunn should be on the level as main eventer by now. Like, it's a shame that he haven't got a chance to be WWE or World Heavyweight Champion in his WWE run, or at least WWE Champion, or even get an opportunity for the championship. But at least in AEW, he's been shown, even though in tag team and mid-card division, but he's shown that he's still useful in the squared circle. But anyway, this is where he tags in the Salt of the Earth. MJF's like, let me get my hand onto this title stealing bastard. Like, let me get into there. This is where they pull him out of the ring. This is the Guns and Juice Robinson. The referee's holding him back. I was like, referee, what are you doing? It's not like he's gonna choke him into the ropes. Like, he's trying to beat his ass. Like, let him beat his ass. Like, referee, like, this is why every heel wrestler could easily can do cheap shots, because you're too naive and gullible of doing anything about it. Like, what are you doing there, referee? Like, dude, like, sheesh. Like y'all, you incompetent referees do not have the sense that God would give you don't have a sense that God would give a butterfly right now, because even a butterfly could do a better job than you guys ever would, except for someone like an Aubrey Edwards, which he's the most intelligent and a character figure into this world, into this industry. But anyway, this is where MJF was like, hey, give me a hand. I want my hands onto him. Give my hands. This is where the Acclaim was like, calm down. How about we cheer you up with a pair of scissoring? Like, even though it's not like something that you want, but it's, how about I do this? And this is where MJF's like, forget it. Like, I'm not going to do this. Like, he walked out of the, out right on the side. Let's see what happened. This is where we saw Max Caster making a comeback, trying to hit comeback moves onto the Bullet Club Gold members, including Jay White. But this is where they did the Scissor Me Timbers, I think, onto Jay White. Or was it Juice Robinson? No, it was Colton Gunn. This is where they did the Scissor Me Timbers onto Colton Gunn, the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. Leg drop him, take him to the. This is where they try to go for the scissoring pose. He's like, come on, MJF. MJF's like, all right, fine. This is where MJF was like, this is where Tony Schiavone's like, do it. This is where they got knocked over by Bullet Club Gold, respectively, with Austin Gunn hitting Max Caster face first into the bottom side of the apron. This is where Jay White goes and pick up Anthony Bowens. This is where Austin Gunn throws Max Caster in the ring, with Colton Gunn stepping on Max Caster, and then this is where he tags in Jay White. This is where he kicks him straight up right into the midsection. This is where he hits a brutal chop, like to the point that he could be added on the list halfway, and with Gunther being envy to him and trying to hit him with his deadliest chop yet, which that's yet to happen. Like, but it probably will happen. We're gonna probably talk about that somewhere near the lines in the road into the future, but that day hasn't come yet, so luckily we don't have to worry about that. This is where Jay White's like, two. He's like, yeah, he's making me sick. Anyway, he throws Max Caster outside, dude, in the middle of the turnbuckle. But he crashed face first into the concrete floor. That's right. Okay. Anyways, yeah, he throws him outside. He lands face first, right into the concrete floor. And let me tell you, this won't be the only time where Max Cat. This is not the only and first time. I mean, this won't be the only time that Max Caster will take a bump so hard like that, to the point that he could be paralyzed into an injury. Which we're gonna talk about that in just a moment here. This is where Juice Robinson said, "We're not touching him. We're gonna leave him. We're gonna let him bring him back in the ring." This is where he pins Max Caster as soon as he bring him back into the ring. The referee count to 1, the referee count to 2, but instantly gets kicked. He kicks out of the maneuver. This is where Jay White throws Max Caster out of the ring. This is where the referee was distracted to Jay White, like with the gun stomping onto Max Caster. Billy Gunn did not like that, and he was trying to get his son straight. But this is where the referee was starting to be an instigator into the family business. I was like, referee, like, stay out of this. If he wants to spank his son's ass, like, let him do it. Like, the referee did so with Rey Mysterio when he faced his son Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania 39. So let Austin Gunn do the same with his sons. Like it's a parenting thing. Like, just because this country made it sort of illegal, that doesn't mean it's gonna change the old school parents' minds of continuously disciplining their child and not ending up in a horrible predicament like the Guns are doing when they're in Bullet Club Gold, like thinking they're pretty cool. Like, the only person that's cool in the group is Jay White, because he knows how to perform in a way that's going to get fans' interest, like guys like me. But even though I don't agree with him stealing the championship like that, like, it still changed the mind of being a Switchblade Jay White fan. And when I say MJF let MJF beat his ass, I'm saying, like, for the perspective of him stealing his championship. But I'm not saying that just to hate on Jay White, but I'm saying, like, it makes sense in the story. And I'm blaming on the referee for not letting the story to happen that way. But anyways, this is where the Acclaims, like, and this is even the Acclaims are saying back up. And this is where they're like look what they're doing when you're not looking at them. Like, when the referee was like, "Hey, back up, like, go away," and it's like, "Go, you get back on your post." This is where Juice Robinson throws Max Caster. He tried to go for another pin, but he only got a 2.5 count. This is where he hits a snapmare chop right onto Max Caster. This is where Colton Gunn tried to do another cheap shot when the referee was once again distracted to Switchblade Jay White, hit him with a striking forearm. This is where Colton Gunn was still doing a beatdown onto Max Caster. Luckily, his tag partner Anthony Bowens did a crossbody on his brother Austin Gunn, and finally the referee seeing them doing cheap shot shenanigans. This is where Billy Gunn finally came in and started beating both Juice Robinson and Colton Gunn, hitting them with fists back and forth onto both men. This is where I whipped Juice Robinson face first right onto the hardest part of the ring apron. This is where Anthony Bowens grabbed onto Colton Gunn. Irish whip him right into the left corner of the ringside area into former Barry barricade. This is where he landed hard, like onto the knocking Anthony Bowens out. This is where MJF's like his right hand strike right onto Austin Gunn, right into the other side of Barry barricade on the top corner of the ringside area. This is where Austin Gunn tried to hit him and Austin's dad, Billy Gunn, behind with an axe handle. This is where Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn Irish whip Billy Gunn right onto the barricade. This is where MJF was like, "Come on, I need to get tagged in. Who's gonna tag me in?" It is like, I guess not Bowens and Austin. This is because Juice and Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson and Colton Gunn Irish whip Anthony Bowens over the top over the barricade into the top right corner. This is where they did a double Irish whip with the same to Billy Gunn. So this time face first right into Tina's turnbuckle. This is where this is where Juice Robinson said, like, suck it. And then the commentators like Taz and Tony Schiavone and what's his name, of course, what's his name? Excalibur, that's what his name is. Excalibur. They wished Billy Gunn a happy birthday because it is his birthday today. And I want to wish him a huge happy birthday to the daddy, Mr. Daddy Ass himself. And hopefully he stays on his AEW Trios Championship for a little while with Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, aka The Acclaim, because they're doing a very entertaining job, like a very entertaining job, like holding on to those triple pink, golden plate pink straps. Hopefully they still have more achievements as Trios Tag Team Champions, and also. This is where Max Caster was still hanging on the apron. He's like, really? You cannot get more serious than this. This is where Jay White's like, yeah, you think you could get me, boy? This is where MJF was enraged and angry. He did not care that he was outnumbered in 4-1 now. This is why he's like, I'm gonna beat. If I get tagged in, become the legal man, I'm gonna beat the absolute rubbish out of it. Like as soon as Max Cat, even though he gets on my nerves, like I cannot wait for him to tag me in so I can beat the absolute sugar honey iced tea out of you. To Jay White. Jay White was taunting him even more. He's like you want to do this to your boyfriend? Like doing a scissoring chant. This is where he starts stomping on the Max Caster. Like, go ahead. Like I'm gonna finish him off while you're just standing there doing nothing, because that's what you do when you're outnumbered. And then this is where he tried to go for a suplex. He was way too cocky at this point. This is where Max Caster got out of the way. This is where he flips out of it. This is where Jay White tried to improvise into a back suplex, but this is where Max Caster flips right out of it perfectly. This is where he tried to tag in. This is where he tags in Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He runs into the ring. This is where Max Caster tried to chase after him, but he gets 3-on-1 onto the Guns and Juice Robinson. He started clotheslining one by one. First it was Juice. Second it was Colton Gunn, and then Austin Gunn hit a back elbow on Juice Robinson. This is where he started hitting the clothesline again to Austin and Colton Gunn. This is where he did the same with Juice Robinson. But actually, he did a body slam, a stand-up body slam onto Juice Robinson. Did the same with Austin Gunn. Then Colton Gunn, like they started repeatedly. This is where he started looking like an Ultimate Warrior or his own version of Ultimate Warrior or Hulk Hogan. He's like yeah, like they don't think that's something to mess with. They don't think that I was someone to mess with. Like I'm a force to be reckoned with when you push me to that point. Here's where MJF was getting ready. This is where he's like, I'm gonna get my hands on you, and when I do, you're gonna be sorry, Tofu. This is where he started chasing them, running around, spinning around. Kind of reminded me from back in 2021, 2 years ago, when he was a full-time heel when CM Punk was still there. When they had a 6-man tag match when it was CM Punk and Darby Allin and Sting taking on MJF and FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler when they were heels. This is where he was running him around the ring. This is where Jay White was run off. He was used. This is where he runs back in the ring, which was probably the clever move that he could have ever done because MJF got slowed down by Austin Gunn, where he got tripped over. Where the Salt of the Earth got tripped over. This is where the Guns try to go for their flapjack facebuster gun maneuver. This is where MJF flipped out of it and intercepted DDT's Colton Gunn before they could do that. Guns out 3D facebuster version of the maneuver. This is where MJF was like time is up, and it's time for the kangaroo left off on me. Do the kangaroo kick, which that's now known as a signature move. This is where he's getting ready to do the kangaroo kick to both Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson, which they got back up. They turned around. They get double kangaroo kick, both face first, right onto the face first, like with MJF's foot, with them kicking the move, doing the double kangaroo kick, like he did the Aussie Open back at the Wembley Stadium show, which he finally did. He flipped him over. He kipped up like if he was Shawn Michaels or The Rock. This is where he starts shaking the ropes like if he's the Ultimate Warrior, Montez Ford, and Batista combined as well. But I was like, before he started doing that, like, Batista started doing it like Batista starts stomping his ring around like if he's the new animal and not Wardlow. This is where he turns around, gets get hit with the Blade Runner by Jay White with his conniving self. He got the 1, 2, 3. He remained of holding the AEW championship, holding the champion, even though he's not the champion, but he stole it. And then and it's the deal that he still hold on to the championship until Full Gear. If MJF retains his championship and wins and takes back his Triple B championship, which I believe that's going to happen. But if not, then it looks like he's going to remain holding the championship. But we finally on his term is the AEW World Championship. But luckily, before they could do any damages, this is where the Acclaim came in and then they started doing they were trying to do a 14. But luckily, this is where the Guns. This is where Billy Gunn hits him in the head before. Hits the right hand in the head with Jay White with the Acclaim started fighting off the Guns and Juice Robinson in the ring. This is where he got back in the ring because MJF was getting on his way of getting back up, and he was getting ready to hit him with his own championship, the Triple B. This is where once he tried to hit him. This is where Max Caster did the most selfless thing in all of professional wrestling, and that was take a bullet, took a bullet from Jay White's gun, and when he shot it, which metaphorically hitting him with the Triple B AEW World Championship right onto his face, and that was the second time he took a brutally hard bump into this segment with these 8 men in the ring, and I was like, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this injury was legitimate, but if not, then I would expect this to be a storyline as well because it looked like it was a guaranteed brutal spot, like from Jay White of intending to hit MJF with the championship, but Max Caster came in to save the day, and then this is where he was knocked out. MJF's like, "Oh my God, like, are you okay, bro? Like, come on, we gotta get you to the doctor's room right now." And this, when the Guns roll out, the Guns, Jay White and Juice Robinson, aka the Bullet Club Gold, rolled out of the ring. This is where he's like, okay, and this is where he pull up and like, does this mean you're gonna scissor me now? MJF's like, no way. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I will never scissor you, even if it was my last resort of living on this earth. And this is where Billy Gunn was like, are you serious right now? Like, he just took a bullet for you and sacrificed his own body so you wouldn't get brutally pulverized with your own Triple B Golden Championship. And this is how you're going to repay him, by disrespectfully declining his scissoring friendship. And then this is where he's like, fine, like, if it's gonna make you feel better, like, and you did do me a favor for me getting hit from that good for nothing tofu JY, I'll do this for some. I'll make this up for you. And this is where he did something that's totally out of character, which is in his character is a tweener / babyface ever since teaming with Adam Cole. But yeah, he did the four-way scissor, I should say. I'll say a four-way scissoring with the Acclaim, with Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn to end the show, to close out this edition of AEW Dynamite. And that was your show, and that was your recap of AEW Dynamite, which I'll give it 3.5 stars out of the 5, which it wasn't a terrible show, but at the same time, it wasn't a great show, more like a really good show. Just an interesting average wrestling show. Just you want something that you want to watch when you're in the mood of wrestling, especially if it's outside of WWE, of course. But I'll say I enjoyed the matches, like the international championship, not the North. My apologies for keep calling it the North American. The international championship with Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli was absolutely storytellingly interesting. And then same with Omega and Jericho taking on the 2.0s, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Angelo Parker, and segments with the likes of MJF trying to look for his 3 mystery partners of his choosing, which he had to choose the Acclaim. We got some really good brawling segment with Edge, or not Edge, the former Edge, now known as Adam Copeland, got physical with his best friend and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, along with his future tag partners for his trios match at AEW's Full Gear event. Make sure y'all check that out, and hopefully you will, and y'all check out, and possibly if I can come up with some pay-per-view money, I could order the pay-per-view and recap it myself onto my SNA podcast at the end of November. Make sure y'all follow me watching all my videos until then, and see if I'll be able to afford to, which is it's like a 50% chance I may. I just need to save up some money wherever I make. But yeah, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you did, make sure you comment that down below, subscribe, click the bell notification, and be a loyal viewer, because once I get hit bigger, maybe I'll even send you some kind of a prize, like a big expensive prize, or even some cash prizes, like whether if I Venmo, Cash App, whatever it could be, if I start making some good money, I would gladly give you some cash prizes. When I start hitting hundreds and thousands of episodes and views, from you guys, you loyal viewers, and stay loyal, because you probably be rewarded at the end of the day. And also, make sure you don't miss my next video, which will be the wrestling news tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, wherever time I'll do it. But I'm glad y'all watching to the very end. And yeah, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was the latest edition of the SNA podcast, my 100th episode. I got up to 100 episodes on YouTube. If that's not a start of an achievement of being a YouTuber / journalist, I don't know what is, because this is very fun to do, because I'm talking about what happened to one of my favorite companies, which is AEW, and one of my favorite shows of all of modern day professional wrestling. And hopefully you guys will be enjoying watching it as much as I do, and also same as much as you watching the SNA podcast. And yeah, I'm going to do my episode 101, which will be the wrestling news part 29. Make sure y'all check that out tomorrow. And I hope you all have a great Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys there. And I'm glad you guys watched to the very end. Until we meet again less than 24 hours from now, or even 12 hours from now, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out of the night. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow in the afternoon on the news.